Welcome to this men's basketball GLIAC preview of the Ohio Dominican Panthers. My name is Todd Bell, and joining us now is the head basketball coach of the Panthers, Artie Taylor. In his fifth season, the Panthers a year ago had a record of 6-20, and in conference play, 3-16. Coach, competing in the GLIAC for the first time a year ago. What were just your thoughts in general about making that step up into the conference?
Well, first of all, it's too good of a welcome package from the GLIAC. But what we expected, stiffer play. Deeper benches, more athletic players. So, we weren't surprised with the talent level that we competed against every night. And we just thought it was a good experience and glad that we was able to experience that.
With that said, there were 3 games that you had at home against nationally ranked teams in Hillsdale, Findlay, and Wayne State. Took them all right down to virtually Wayne State, the last shot of the game. So you know you can't compete at this level.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And that was one of our goals going in. We didn't talk about the number of wins that we wanted to get. It was more about competing. And we proved that, fairly early, in the conference play that we can compete at this level. I think later on it's more, let's stop getting in our own way and hopefully winning some of these games.
Did you get a good idea of what you need to do in the off season to try and make this team better and improve it to help get you a few more wins?
Well, we stuck with our same philosophy and principles of, you never can spend enough time on the court. You never can get better as an individual the game of basketball. So it's just, we just need to work. We got a lot of experience, a lot of guys that played a lot of basketball that knows what it takes to be successful. And they had a chance to experience, some of the top level players in this conference. So, hey, what are you going to do to give yourself an advantage the next time you come up across them?
You said you have a lot of experience going into this season. 6 seniors on this year's roster. Not all of them been here for all 4 years. A couple of transfers in there that have really contributed to this program. But as a group, it seems like this group of 6 seniors has really come together. Very tight-knit group and hopefully good leaders this year.
Probably my best group of guys collectively since I've been here. And you hit the nail on the head as far as their camaraderie, them coming together. If you go back and look at our games early on in the year, we were asking some of those transfers to step in and play some key roles for us and key minutes for us early in their career, and they didn't really have that time to gel. Even if you go back a couple years prior to that, Aaron Gibbs comes in here and we just throw him right into that leadership fire. And so it's good that these guys got that year under their belt. So they can get a nice feel of what each other's strengths and weaknesses are. And if you look back again, we were playing our best basketball at the end of the year, and now we just hope that we can continue where we left off.
You mentioned Aaron Gibbs' name a couple of times, 13 points, 7 rebounds, the 7 rebounds second best in the conference. And really the other leader, and it's a great combination because Aaron may be a little undersized but plays that post position. And then Morgan Jones, your point guard, he'll be a junior this year. He averaged 13 points a game, one of the top assist leaders in the conference as well. It was a nice 1-2 punch inside-outside.
Oh, no doubt. And I don't think those guys are going to sneak up on anybody in the league. I've talked to a few coaches already, and those are one of the 2 players, that they talk about a lot, and that's Aaron Gibbs, as well as Morgan. Morgan, top point guard in this league as well. And them 2 working together, off our ball screen action, usually there's a lot of success that comes behind it. And again, we're going to jump on that wave early and see how far it can carry us.
Not the biggest team in the conference by any stretch of the imagination, maybe lacking that really big interior post guy, but you do have depth at the perimeter and size at the perimeter with Jake Mahosky, John True out there, and then Kip Kelly, who was the best 3-point shooter for percentage, was sitting out there on the island as well. The perimeter game is pretty solid.
Yes, and we talk a lot about working off our post play, but I think our guards has proven that, hey, we can knock down some big shots and we can hit some shots with some consistency from there. And so we're going to look for those guys, to be more of a threat, in our offense from the perimeter. And with that size, we have versatility. Some of our best offensive performances came when Jake moved him over to the 4. And, he was a matchup nightmare for some of the interior post guys in the league. So we're going to be moving guys around. Those guys are going to have a little more freedom to take some shots, if they get a good look at it. And hopefully we can, be pretty accurate.
Last year you had 4 freshmen. They're now sophomores. Zach Joseph really was the leader, though, out of that group, played the most minutes, back up in the point guard position. What are you expecting out of that group this year?
You know, just they got to use their experience they had last year, the experiences they've had, the practice for a year to play college basketball, and then just mature. You know, cut down on, shorten up some of the mistakes that normally freshmen would make, and to be a lot more confident. You know, come in and take demand. I know as far as like a Zach Joseph, who may be the floor general when he's out there at the point guard position. You know, take command of our offense. You know, make his voice be heard, even though he's probably one of the youngest players on the floor. You know, we have high expectations for Dondrekus Kellum and Brandon Carr, who unfortunately wasn't able to be with us for the second half of the year. But having them back again, they were around the team full year. Hey, we expect them to get it done in the classroom. One, to be available, but two, to be ready to go when their number's called.
And again, we talked about this and harped on it really last year, was the element of the recruiting now. Being a full-fledged Division II member, you really have the opportunity to go out and get some different players. How about the incoming freshman class this year?
Really excited, about our freshman class. Brought in some toughness. Continue to go with that trend of having some size on the perimeter, and Brock Ammons, some versatility, at the post spot, and Steve Bridgman, who can be an inside out threat for us. And then also brought in Bobby Stauffer, who's just a bear in the post, and is just a really, really, really good player. And then DJ Decker from Michigan. Yes, we did get a player from Michigan, who's a coach's son, very, very high basketball IQ, really good shooter, body specimen, really strong with the basketball in his hands. So really proud of those guys and what they've done in the offseason here, in the preseason rather, so far. Again, having so many, upperclassmen, so many returners, it's going to be a fight, for those guys to solidify themselves in the program early on in their career. But, opportunities are always there, and we're looking for the best guys who can help us be successful the quickest.
Coaches don't like to put a label on a season in terms of wins and losses, and you said that in the outset, that you really weren't even looking at last year. It was just how you competed night in and night out. With this group, I think there is a little bit higher expectations going into this season, competing in the South Division with some obviously talented teams, as we already talked about, like a Hillsdale and a Findlay and a Wayne State. Ashland, obviously, they're going to be solid as well. What are the expectations for the program leading into this year?
Well, I've tried to, make sure, the people on the outside, I try to downplay all these returners coming back because, we want to try to sneak in there again. I don't want anybody to give us any credit here early. But, definitely when you have that many upperclassmen, when you're just right there so many times on the cuff of really getting over that hump, you come into the season saying, hey, should be our year. And our goal is just to, again, stay out of our way, make sure we're a high executing team that's out executing our opponents down the stretch of games, that we stay united because this is a tough league, and basketball is going to lend itself to some frustrating moments. So we want to make sure we stay united and just go out there and compete and challenge everybody who steps in front of us every single night. And I really do believe that success is going to fall our way this season.
Artie, thanks for the time. Best of luck this season.
Thank you, man.
Head coach Artie Taylor. This has been our GLIAC Media Day preview of the Ohio Dominican men's basketball team.